Welcome on behalf of the German Czech Chamber of Industry and Commerce and the companies of the platform Partners for Sustainability. Next to me is my colleague Martina, head of Competence Center, Energy and Environment. My name is Christian Rühmkorff. I'm head of Communication and Public Affairs. We both will accompany you through today's forum. Given the current war in the Ukraine, the management of the German Czech Chamber of Industry and Commerce and the Partners for Sustainability have decided to call off the original topic of the conference German Czech Economic Forum, Sustainability Down to Earth. Instead, the Chamber and the Partners for Sustainability offer the forum Help for Ukraine Down to Earth. At the same time, under the same link but exclusively online. The focus today will be on how companies can support the people of Ukraine there and here. The aim is to provide very practical information, especially for companies that either have a large number of Ukrainian colleagues or simply want to help in the given situation these days. We are glad that today we get information from institutions and platforms that quickly have set up a practical support infrastructure or provide support with psychological and legal issues. The companies of the platform Partners for Sustainability will then share with you their experiences of help. And of course, there's the opportunity to ask questions in the chat and at the end also in person. That is the program for the upcoming 1.5, maybe 2 hours. We are glad that we still have the support from the Saxon State Minister Wolfram Günther and the Czech Deputy Minister for Industry and Trade, René, Neděla, who both will speak to us very soon. But first I'll pass the word over to the Executive Director of the German Czech Chamber, Bauer. Mr. Bauer, please.
Thank you very much. Good morning, dear Minister of State Wolfram Günther, dear Deputy Minister René Neděla, dear companies of our platform Partners for Sustainability, dear members and guests. Also a very warm welcome from my side. As we just heard from my colleague Christian, today we actually wanted to talk about sustainable transformation. We know it's still a very important issue for our companies, but one thing is clear today, all our thoughts revolve around the people in Ukraine and the deadly violence they are suffering as a result of the Russian attack. We all ask ourselves, how can we personally and with our companies help best? We are therefore also in a close contact with our colleagues at the border to Ukraine, in the Foreign Chambers of Commerce, our HAK network in the Visegrad 4 region, and of course with our head office in Berlin. And I'm very grateful that you, Minister Wolfram Günther, that you're still with us today despite this program change. Thank you very much for your support today. And dear Deputy Minister René Neděla, I would also like to thank you very much for being here today despite the current situation and for supporting us. Of course, my thanks go also to the organization that have set up an aid infrastructure within a very short period of time and are reporting today on how companies can help in a meaningful way. Because many of our companies are directly affected by their Ukrainian employees. But my very special thanks go to the companies of the platform Partners for Sustainability, who quickly rededicated their sustainability conference and used a considerable amount that was earmarked for the hybrid conference today, now for 8 projects. Today, Ladies and gentlemen, we want to discuss with you what humanitarian situation do companies have to cope with, and what concrete aid capacities and experiences can companies contribute. Some of the partners for sustainability have offered to report on it today. The point is to benefit quickly from these experiences and to provide effectively help for Ukrainian people. And benefit from experiences is also a basic principle of our platform, Partners for Sustainability. Thank you very much for being here today and for supporting us. Have a good day.
Thank you very much, Bernard Bauer. And now I would directly like to pass over the word to Wolfram Günther, Saxon State Minister for Energy, Climate Protection, Environment and Agriculture. Minister.
Dear Mr. Bauer, dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your invitation to the German Czech Economic Forum. I accept with a great pleasure, still remembering my exchange of views with you, the partners of sustainability, during my visit to Prague last autumn. I was particularly impressed by your commitment to assume ecological and social responsibility, guided by well-grounded economic reason. Under normal circumstances, I would now have reported in detail how my ministry is working on the transition to a sustainable economy in cooperation with business, enterprises and their social stakeholders. And I would have spoken about trust and cooperation. Both your and our sustainability commitments remain important and will be needed even more urgently in the future. But I am going to leave that out to stick to the topic that moves us most today, the situation in the Ukraine. The open aggression of the army of the Russian President Vladimir Putin against his and our neighboring country, Ukraine, is the reason why we are now faced with reports on acts of war of a kind that we had been eradicated once and for all in the midst of Europe. We are shocked to see how representatives of a country break all the rules of international cooperation, trust and mutual respect that their predecessors once helped to establish, rules they had insisted on again and again for themselves. All such taking place of Ukrainian soil in violation of international law, this aggression is really directed against the Western world, against all of us. Our sympathy goes out to all victims of this conflict, regardless of their nationality. Those who are defending the democratically chosen path of the Ukraine deserve our special respect, as well as those in Russia who take to street and risk their freedom in the interest of peace. So what it is that we in the Free State of Saxony are doing to support the Ukraine? The Saxon cabinet has set up a coordination steering committee for Ukraine in order to, among other things, coordinate humanitarian action across all departments under the leadership of the Saxon State Chancellery. Saxony, like the Czech Republic, is ready to receive people fleeing from the Ukraine while making concrete preparations for the accommodation of refugees. We support the Ukraine Foundation based in Wrocław to see to the most urgent needs of the people arriving from the Ukraine. There are reports of municipalities taking spontaneous actions within the Saxon Ukrainian town twinning program, for example, in Leipzig, twin city of Kiev, and Borna, twin city of Irpin. Preparations are being made for providing medicines and medical care for Ukrainians in Saxon hospitals. Also, we are in close coordination with the federal German government for measures taken on a national level. What are the impacts of the Russia-Ukraine conflict on the energy sector? Natural gas is our second most important primary energy source after mineral oil, and Germany currently obtains more than half of its natural gas from Russia. Nevertheless, our electricity and heat supply is secure for the time being, even in case of an immediate halt in natural gas supplies. We would be able to do without further Russian gas for the rest of the heating seasons and the next few months. But the recent development shows us that the passing out of fossil energy sources is not only required in terms of climate policy, but it's also necessary on grounds of strategic supplies. The decision not to start operation of the natural gas pipelines Nord Stream 2 is a logical result of these two aspects. We need a holistic approach to climate protection and sovereignty in the energy supply sector and must make use of the available potentials in Middle Europe. In Germany, turning away from the initiated energy transformation is out of the question and would not solve the current problems even temporarily. On the contrary, the challenge is to use energy wisely that is more economically and to push the use of regenerative energy sources. As such, the topics of energy efficiency, generation, storage and use of renewable energies, as well as circular economy, climate protection and adaptation to climate change are of relevance on both sides of the border. In this context, our expectations are already focuses on the Czech European Union presidency in the second half of 2022, especially with regards to the program priority topic, climate-friendly recovery of national economies after the pandemic. The implementation of the Fit for 55 package as part of the European Green Deal offer potential solutions and impetus, especially in the light of the big economic issues and the energy price increases. We welcome the positive signals from the new Czech government, which plans to take a proactive approach to transformation processes in the energy sector, to expand renewable energies, especially rooftop, photovoltaic systems and wind energy, and to strive to phase out coal by 2033 where possible. We accept the trio presidency of France, Czechia, Sweden to stay the course toward climate neutrality in the European Union in 2050 and compliance with the Paris Climate Agreement. While trying to cope with the current situation, we must use the remaining window of opportunity to keep the impacts of climate change manageable and to safeguard the future quality of life for our children. In Saxony, last year, we set up the Energy and Climate Program, ECP 2021, to provide a framework to facing the challenges of energy transformation and climate change. I see great opportunities for the Saxon economy here. The ambition to reach the climate goals will be a driver for innovative concepts in many fields. For example, in the Saxon Czech future-oriented are of hydrogen technologies. The expansions of the energy infrastructure and forward-looking climate adaptation strategies will give us a competitive edge and will have a positive impact on the employment market. As early as spring 2022, we will run a broad-based consultation with the professional public to discuss the draft of an interdisciplinary action plan, which is designed to implement the ECP 2022 and will be finalized by the end of this year. with a set of climate conscious state administration measures, we want to set an example for many other fields of action. Similar to the Czech Republic, Saxony needs to accelerate the use of the solar and wind energy potentials. The Energy and Climate Program 2022 provides the framework for additional capacities in the years to come. In Saxony, there are more and more businesses, enterprises in demand for green electricity, which is increasingly becoming a local factor that secures and creates jobs. However, the transition to renewable energies also requires acceptance by the population. This is especially true in rural areas where the energy systems to be built will have significant impacts on local landscapes. We should intensify bilateral exchanges on the matter in order to learn from each other. The European Union offers a variety of funding for implementing the ambitious goals lying ahead of us, including the Just Transformation Fund, the EU Modernization Fund, and the Corona Recovery Fund, and last but not least, the funds of the new ERDF program period, the contents of which are currently being worked on. We will use these opportunities offered by the European founding instruments with the aim to continue to provide proactive support to the goals of sustainability-oriented initiatives and projects. Dear ladies and gentlemen, you are representatives of well-known companies with cross-border business activities. I take this opportunity to encourage you to support the people in Ukraine, use your economical potential to provide practical assistance, involve your networks, help to encourage people to stand up for a democratic system rooted civil society, use your opinion-forming influence also among your employees in order to prevent feelings of hatred between non-involved Russian and Ukrainian people and to prevent disinformation. This is not a war of the Russians, it is a war of Putin and his accomplices. I am convinced that the Ukrainian people will eventually be able, just like the Czechs and Germans were 30 years ago, to exercise their right to self-determination about which way to go in the future. They deserve having our solidarity. Many thanks for your attention.
Saxon State Minister Wolfram Günther, thank you very much for your warm words. Thank you very much for being with us. Thank you very much for your comment on the current war situation, on energy supply and transformation. We see everything is linked with everything. Thank you very much for being with us. And now I would like to pass over the word to René, Neděla, the Deputy Minister for Energy of the Ministry of Industry and Trade of the Czech Republic. Pane ministře, máte slovo.
Děkuji. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you can hear me well. Yes, okay, perfect. So first, let me thank you for the invitation to this German Czech Economic Forum. We should have taken about sustainability and energy transition. It is clear that these topics are still important, but we unfortunately have to urgently deal also with the question of security of supply. It is very sad that as the world started to recover from COVID-19 pandemic, it was affected by other tragedy and despair in the form of armed conflict. Our businesses and companies still fragile after pandemics, and its impact on international products chain and on energy prices are again facing further challenges and uncertainties, and our role is to help as much as we possibly can. Goals of energy transition remains to a large extent the same, but it is clear that we have to focus on the dimension of energy security to at least the same extent as on the dimension of decarbonization. Let me now say a few words with regard to current situation and potential short-term and long-term reactions. On Monday, me and Minister Sikala were to informal council for the telecommunication and energy, which was summoned by the French presidency in a reaction on E.ON in Ukraine. We discussed currently flow of key energy commodities from Russian Federation. No interruption of oil and natural gas have been indicated so far, but with financial ties disrupted, there is also a question of carrying the payments. European Commission also informed on the potential scenarios of major disruption and effort in unlocking additional supplies, alternative suppliers. There was general agreement that the EU can withstand a short-term disruption in oil or natural gas supply, but it would take time to achieve fuel self-efficiency on energy supplies from Russia. There was a general agreement that the energy transition towards the low carbon sources might also address the issue of EU dependency on imports of fossil fuels, but it might be even more difficult to speed up. In these circumstances, it might be increasingly more difficult to make the transition inclusive also for low-income households and some business. One of the topics was also the topic of solidarity and potential redistribution of mainly natural gas to cover consumption of vulnerable consumers irrespective of the member state, which is the incentive that is already embedded in the EU legislation, but was so far contemplated more or less on the theoretical level. We also discussed aid the Ukraine mainly in terms of oil products. We also touch upon the issue that we are trying to deal with for some time now, and it is an issue of high energy prices. We were looking forward to the end of the winter with hope that the natural gas prices will decrease, but development in Ukraine again led to their increase and are now also coupled with fairly high oil prices. It is also clear that that any even short-term disruption of supply would have big impact on market sentiments, even in the case that this disruption is fully shielded by reserves. In this regard, we welcome the European Commission is planning to publish communication as a follow-up to the communication that was published last October, which will further clarify that measures can be used. Fortunately, most of the people that were using so-called supplier of last resort have already switched to the normal supplier. But we see further increase of end prices of electricity and natural gas, which are also now coupled with increase of prices for heat. Yesterday, there was also a meeting of governing board of the International Energy Agency, which is the organization that was founded as a reaction to oil crisis in 1973, and the global energy security is the core activity of this institution. Czech Republic was again presented directly by Minister Sikala and by me. EI is following the situation quite closely, and it is also publishing up-to-date and verified information. Among other things, we were discussing the readiness to use the oil reserve by the EI member countries, either to ease of market pressures or to react on the disruption of supply itself. With regards to preparedness and resilience of the Czech Republic, I think we are well prepared given the circumstances. Our emergency oil and oil product reserves covered more than 90 days of the consumption of last year. We have also one of the biggest natural gas storage capacity per capita, and the level of reserves are fairly high given the time of the year. Our nuclear power plants have sufficient reserve of nuclear fuel and can potentially switch to different supplier. And in case of emergency, we can still ramp up production of electricity and heat from coal. Let me now conclude one more optimistic note, and let me wish you a successful forum. And hopefully the next time we will meet on the forum, we can focus on the topic of sustainability. Thank you.
René, Neděla, the Deputy Minister for Energy of the Ministry of Industry and Trade of the Czech Republic, thank you very much for your thoughts. Thank you very much for your thoughts on energy security and the current war situation. Let's put the focus now on how companies can concretely support the people of Ukraine there and here. Martina, please.
Thank you very much. So our idea was to give orientation to companies that want to help. As Christian mentioned in the beginning, if you have employees from the Ukraine that experience now what they experience, that there is a war in Ukraine that we never ever hoped to experience throughout our lifetimes. If you see that you want to help and want to know, okay, where is this help? How is it organized? Then this is what we want to show you within the next 1.5 hours. Also offer a plan to discuss. We will also provide you after the event with the link to the streaming of the event, plus also some useful addresses, websites. So it's my great pleasure to give now the floor to Martina Hábová. Wrong in the program, to one element that is very important, and that is the legal support. So I'm very happy to welcome first Kamil Blažek on behalf of the Czech Bar Association. They very fast have put together a list of lawyers that are willing to work pro bono, and more details on that will be now given to us by Kamil Blažek. So thank you very much, Kamil, for taking the time and for telling us a little bit more on the legal side of how to help Ukraine. Kamil, do we hear each other?
Thank you, Martina. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect.
Great. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Dobré ráno. It's also a great pleasure to be here with you, and obviously it is not a great pleasure to speak about this topic because we certainly have not expected to face this situation this week, but I am here on behalf of the Czech Bar Association as a member of its board, and also a professional lawyer by background, of course. And let me say also, actually, on a personal note, you know, my own law firm has a subsidiary in Kiev. It's actually the largest office of our law firm. So my around 120 colleagues are right now in Kiev, not in the office, but at home and around. So obviously, our thoughts are with them and with everyone else in Ukraine. But what is the purpose of this short contribution, and many thanks for inviting us, is to let you know, I think, an important information that you can share with both your colleagues, employees, but also which is, I hope, of great use to the Ukrainian citizens coming over from Ukraine to the Czech Republic, because the legal support, or actually the first first point of contact orientation about what they need to do, what they can do in the Czech Republic on the formal level, facing the public authorities, facing issues like where to stay, how to arrange for that, etc., and how to pay for things. One big element of that is obviously the legal arrangements. So on the one hand, what the Czech Bar Association did, and I mean not the association itself, but actually a lot of our members from the very beginning was trying to put together financial support. We also have a transparent account where our members and law firms are contributing money and financial means that will be used for two purposes: A, to support Ukrainian lawyers and Ukrainian bar association in Kiev in specific circumstances where they really suffered damage and loss and etc. And secondly, to use that money in the Czech Republic on support of Ukrainians coming in needs of help. However, the money is in this context, I think, not the most important thing. The most important is to do for everyone what he or she does best, and that is in the context of lawyers counseling and helping solving the issues. So I think much more important is that, and I can share this with you, the willingness of early hundreds of lawyers so far that have volunteered to and come forward to provide and offer free of charge legal support in various areas of expertise. Of course, not everyone is expert in asylum law, and however, this is also not the actually most important issue for the Ukrainians right now, because in the first weeks after arrival, what they need to solve is actually not the residency permit, but it's actually where to stay, renting of homes, trying to arrange for loans, trying to arrange for work, etc., like introduction of kids to school or any other such things. And therefore, there are two things I wanted to turn your attention to that you can share. There is a list of lawyers that have volunteered to provide free of charge help on the Czech Bar Association webpage, which is www.chak.cz, which is also in Ukrainian language. So it's with mobile phone numbers, web pages, emails, names, and specializations, including lawyers providing verified translations from Ukrainian to Czech, and various areas of legal services in actually across the whole of the Czech Republic. And at the moment, there is more than 200 colleagues listed, and this number is growing every day. Secondly, there is, I think, one quite useful piece of information or advice that is there as well. It's also on the webpage of our sort of publishers, our daily, which is called Advokátní deník. Again, www.advokátnideník.cz, and I assume those links will be shared by Martina later on. And on that webpage, you will find also a summary of sort of 10 recommendations. What the first thing to do from legal side for any Ukrainian coming into the Czech Republic, how to do it, and what they should be doing. And another document that provides more extensive and descriptive advice on any sort of legal situation that they could face and what they should be doing as a first kit of aid for them. Again, it's also in Ukrainian language. And last but not least, and that's again to be found on the webpage of Advokátní deník, is a number of other initiatives that are coming from various law firms, lawyers, or groups of lawyers across the Czech Republic to help in this situation. I think one particular web page which I find really useful is, for example, again, www.helpukraine.cz, which has been put together as an initiative of number of lawyers, again, Czech, and a lot of that in Ukrainian, that provides really step-by-step what they should do before arrival, after arrival, when they're crossing the border, what type of permits they can and should obtain, and what should be the next steps in terms of whether it's personal ID documentation, whether it's social support, whether it's schooling for kids, etc. So again, this is something that where you find, I think, really practical and transparent information, and also, and most importantly, a lot of people that can help with that. Last comment from my side. Deputy Minister Neděla talked about the resilience of the Czech energy system. I think what is as much important is the resilience and cohesion of the society as such, which is exactly put together by people willing to help and providing the support to each other. And I hope that the Czech Bar Association and our members are doing as much as they can. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kamil. And we have also a short question coming in to you. And of course, many companies have their business partners in Ukraine, and they're now trying to help. And we have one question here that one company experiences problems in, I assume, from a legal viewpoint, getting their business partners, Ukrainians, over the border. I think the websites that you mentioned are certainly a good point. Is there anything else as business partners of Ukrainian companies and their employees that they can do in addition to help them from a legal viewpoint that you can give as a tip?
Well, what I think is, well, there is a lot of things they can do. I think the trouble that everyone now faces is, well, it's there's a lot of help, and it's very fresh. So there's also some lack of coordination. From the reports I have from the borders, and I have other companies, clients, and friends that have been organizing buses for bringing in families of Ukrainian employees that are in the Czech Republic, etc. And it is just a very big mess on the borders in terms of what I was told. Like, actually, it does not make that much sense to put more goods, on stock, which is piling on the borders because it's at the moment disorganized. So what I got yesterday was actually a request for some, if someone can provide both diesel generators for generating electricity at the border points, and also, basically shelves like in German Regale, like that are actually, so that actually they can sort and organize all that stuff that is on the borders, because at the moment it's very difficult actually for the people that are helping the incomers to orientate themselves. And that's just 2 tips, and I think there will be many others. So I think what is important is try to find out what is needed at that moment, and try to speak with the coordinators, or with hopefully the Czech government, I think, is starting to get better organized. That shouldn't be a critique. I mean, everything is done in a very big rush. So I don't know whether this was the answer to your question, but I don't think I have anything better.
Thanks a lot, Kamil. I think that was answer to the second half of the question. To the first half of the question, because it was, are there any tips, examples, or ideas for good help? I think this will be then definitely part of our partners for sustainability that have put together some ideas, experiences that are doing, where also the possibility is to join their initiatives. But first of all, as Kamil has mentioned, he called it mess, and I think it's because nobody of us expected something like this to happen, but everybody rushed in to help. And one of the initiatives that tries to give sort of a guidance is Stojíme za Ukrajinou. I'm very happy that Martina Hábová is with us. Česko Digital has put this together, and she will tell us a little bit more on how the idea originated, what is actually going on within Stojíme za Ukrajinou, in line with what Kamil has said, what they are experiencing at the moment. And I'm very happy that Martina has taken the time to share this with us. And for ease for her, the part of Stojíme za Ukrajinou will be in Czech. But in case you want to know more about Stojíme za Ukrajinou, the page is also in Ukrainian. And Also, you can put in Google Translate in case you need it in German, English, or any other language. So, Martino, moc díky, že se k nám připojíte a předávám slovo.
Hello to everybody. Martina, thank you very much. I try to speak English. I try to give it in English language to be understandable for everybody. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here and to share with you our initiative. We stand with Ukraine. I'm from the non-profit organization Česko Digital. We are the community of pro bono expert volunteers. We were based in 2019. So we are here in the Czech market almost 3 years, and during these 3 years, we connect together more than 4,800 volunteers who are with us. They are different expertise. They are from different expertise. They are IT experts, designers, marketers, project managers, product managers, and we are together with them, with their support, with their work. We are creating projects with a big impact, and we stand with the Ukraine. Website is one of them, and it's the fourth project of this big impact we are happy to introduce. I will share a screen with you so you can directly see how the website looks like. It was very quick. We started to create this website on Friday, 25th, and we launched this website on Sunday afternoon. Yesterday we add also the English version, which is not complete yet, but we are still working on it. Also, it's important to say that the website is always in progress. It's really live. We are checking the information. We are updating the information. We are adding the information. So the page is really up to date. The page has Czech version and Ukrainian version, and it has like two main sections. The first section is providing the instruction how you can help, really concrete. So you can here on in the section how to help. You will find the concrete section or sectors for your help, like financial support, accommodation, transport, and we added to each of this section the contacts and the non-profit organization who are active and who are specialized in this concrete area, and therefore they have the most actual, the most updated information. What is now really what they need really now, what they need, what you can provide them with, and what kind of things are not as necessary at this time. So to put it in English once again, if you ask what can you concretely support, in what way to support Ukraine and to support the Ukrainian citizens right now, the best way is to think in which in which sector or in which area you can help the best. If the financial aid, or you can provide some accommodation or transport or anything, then check the section with this concrete area you are interested to help in, and then to set in contact the non-government organization, any from this list. Get in touch with them and ask them directly what is the things you need now, what is really urgent, what can we donate, what kind of things do you need right now, because as Mr. Blažek mentioned before, it's kind of mess on the borders, and to send or give the aid which is not discussed with this non-government organization, it's quite ineffective. There are plenty of things, clothes, anything which is then not used, not coordinated on the borders. So this is the best process how to coordinate your support, even financial or in some other material way. Another section of the web, also very important, is a section I'm looking for help. This section is mainly written, it's translated into Ukrainian language, because the main reason for this section is to help Ukrainian people to find the first pieces of information, what they need to do in Czech Republic, what are the main contacts. You can see here the translation, what are the main contacts, where they can find the aid, who to contact, and so on. Another part of the website is the event section, and this event section, it's important to say that Česko Digital made a partnership, because that's the way how we are working. We are making the partnership with another non-profit organization, and we are working together on our projects. And Stay with the Ukraine, we partnershiped with the platform Stay with the Ukraine, which is the platform of Czech citizens who are interested in the situation, what's happening in the world, in the democracy in Europe, and they are planning the events to support democracy. So that's another section here on the website. And very important is the another website, Help Ukraine, pomahej Ukraině.cz, where you can find the really concrete offer of help. This is working only in Czech language. Česko Digital, as an organization, we coordinated the communication also with the organization which are behind, which created this concrete website, pomahej.ukraině.cz. We are coordinated our steps. We communicate with each other to be effective, to focus together on the things which are now really important, not to waste time and effort of everybody. So here you can find really concrete offers from the person, but also from companies. Through this questionnaire, you can put, or you can just send what you are offering, which kind of help can you offer as a company or as an individual, and everybody who are looking for help can find your help here, and you can also connect directly with a person or company offering any concrete help. To sum it up, or to add another important information to you, there are also another activities which are running now, and this activity is, for example, the Sbírka techniky. We are collecting the computers, hardware, tablets, notebooks, and we are, as a Česko Digital, we are in a coordination role that we know about this initiative, and we are communicating with each other. So as a companies, you can provide with the old computers, but still working computers for Ukrainians here in Czech Republic, for them to be able to connect with their families in Ukraine. This collection is running from today. It has 2 checkpoints now in Prague and in Brno, and I'm able to share with you concrete details in chat when you are interested. And another type of help is in that way that everyone from you can join Česko Digital as an expert volunteer, and you can join any of our initiative wanting to help Ukraine. There are not just these initiatives Stand with Ukraine. There are another initiatives in the state of idea right now. There are nothing concrete, but we are collecting the ideas and putting the organization, for example, in education, together to join and to think about how to help in following days and weeks. And there's also another important point to say, that the form of the aid of the help will be fluid. So the things which are important now will be maybe important also in another days, but there will come another things and another maybe services which will be more important in following days and months. And to conclude with a statement that this help is not short term. Let's be clear that the support and the help from individuals, from companies, will be needed in a long term. Not everybody, there is no urge to just to go, how to say, there's no urge to get to the help right now, but you can support Ukraine also really in a long-term timeline. Thank you very much for your listening to me, and I'm prepared to answer your questions in the chat. So feel free to ask, and I will answer every question from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Martina, for taking the time to join us. Also for openness to answer questions. So if you have any immediate questions, please drop them into the chat. Martina will be more than happy to answer them. And as Martina has mentioned, it will be long term. So definitely the website, Stojíme za Ukrajinu, you should save it in your browser and get back from time to time whether there's anything new popping up where you could engage and help. And we will also send you all those links and contacts after the event by email or by message via LinkedIn. And as I see there are at the moment no direct questions to Martina, but I'm sure throughout the event they will come. And now we would like to give the floor shortly to René Harun. He's the head of the daughter company of the Czech-German Chamber of Commerce, DTIHK Services, because already a lot of us, also on an individual basis, started to help. And René wants also to share there a few thoughts with us. René, do you hear us?
I can hear very well. Thank you, Martina. And Martina, also from my side, yes, we are actively helping Ukrainian refugees, and we are active in caritative projects, especially as we as a Russian-German family, because we have to be on the right side, and this side is the Ukraine. But we do it quietly, I say, and we do not want to do a big story, a big show with photos via the social media channels and to show that we are the merciful Samaritan. We just want to help because it's very important now. I guess it does not make sense frantically to start a relief operation and you have good conscience. But there's a variety of options to help actively, and the platform Stojíme za Ukrajinu, as we heard from Martina now, and before her, it was Kamil, Blažek. Everybody gave you excellent and thankful options. Thank you for this. But please let me add one option of the Ukrainian embassy in the Czech Republic. They organize in some towns collective actions, and you can give your address if you want to be a host for refugees. For example, here in Praha 2, in Pardubice, in the Coastal Penny Marie Sedmi Bolesne, in Liberec, in the Catholic Church there, in Brno, in Hrastany. And so if you wish to help, and if you wish to do something also for the Ukrainian refugees and to send medicine or anything to them, you can also put in your address to the embassy of the Ukraine, to the Ukrainian embassy, and later on I will pass website Russian Czech in Russian and Czech language in the chat, and you can participate into. That was all just that I wanted to say, and it's very important situation. Again, thank you very much for the Stojíme za Ukrajinu and also for Kamil, Blažek. It's a very good action now, and we have to stay together now. Thank you. Martina, I give to back.
Thank you very much, René. And what is now also what we want to share with you is we have our platform Partners for Sustainability within the Czech Chamber of Commerce. Those are all member companies of the Chamber that said sustainability is a very important part of their business, where they wanted to exchange ideas, experiences. But now we thought it might perhaps be now the right time to share also experiences, ideas, and also where you can connect, where you can add. There was, for instance, now a question in the chat, mobile phones, as there was an interest from Česko Digital, and there is an interest and there is an initiative going on, for instance, from Vodafone that we will hear later on, that they are active in this area. So definitely there might be an idea to connect the other Martina and Vodafone. And this is now something that part of our members within Partners for Sustainability want to share. And first of all, I want to try with the first one of the partners, ING. Carolina, are you online? They want to share what they are doing and where they see some points in helping. Carolina, do you hear us? Okay, so then let's go on with The first of our partners for sustainability, Vodafone. Victoria, do you hear us?
Yes, hello
Perfect,
everyone.
thank you much.
You can see my presentation, and I have to apologize. Normally it would be Zuzana Hola, but unfortunately she not only is a wonderful management person in Vodafone, but also a mother, and currently she needed to go to help her child who is sick at school. So I apologize for Zuzana, who sends all the greetings to all of you and all the support. So let me briefly tell you about our activities. Vodafone as a mobile operator is in a little bit different situation while not having so many Ukraine co-workers, but having many customers who have their relatives or loved ones back in Ukraine. Therefore, we are trying to support Ukrainian people with the framework of our possibilities as operator. Immediately after the war has broken out, we started to zero charge calls and SMS and also the roaming with the Ukraine for all our customers here or in Ukraine. We also donated prepaid SIM cards for Ukraine refugees who are coming to the Czech Republic. And our instant mobile network team left with 2 mobile sites to help our Hungarian colleagues in building connectivity at the Hungarian-Ukrainian border. As many companies, our employees want to help and join the employee financial collection we have opened on Friday and which is still running. The humanitarian funds of Vodafone Foundation donated in the Czech Republic 2 million for refugees. And what we are running just now, it is a public call for donating mobile phones for refugees. Vodafone will provide them with prepaid SIM cards and distribute them to the refugees coming. Everybody can still join until Monday evening. We want to make it swift and hand over as soon as possible maximum capacity of mobile phones with the prepaid SIM cards. And we are calling out to any company or organization or personal to share our call. And if you want to join, don't hesitate either to copy paste any of these calls that are public on social media, or just send me or Susanna an email. I will put in the chat our contact details so we can provide you with more data. But generally, it's a very simple call. Anyone, please bring a functional mobile phone, preferably with charger. At any of Vodafone shops latest on Monday evening, we will reset them into factory setting and provide a 500 Czech crown prepaid SIM card and distribute them to the refugees that are already in the Czech Republic. And I'm happy to hear that Czech Digital is having similar activities. So we'll probably connect, because what we are adding there is the extra SIM card. So not only for the mobile phone itself, but as well a prepaid bucket of some initial money for those who will be here and want to connect with their relatives and friends, either here or in Ukraine. And I tried to be as quick as possible so even others can share their best practice. Definitely happy to inform or answer any question, and I'm here on the chat as well to answer any later questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't have questions for the time being. We see what will happen. Thank you very much to Viktoria Tenzarová of Vodafone for your contribution, for your action, for your help. And now I would like to switch over to Mlada Boleslav. There is the other partner for sustainability, Škoda Auto, and it is Mr. Tomáš Čáp who will talk to us. Tomáš.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very
Can you
much.
please just confirm that you see my screen?
Yes, we can see it. Perfect. Thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you very much for today's opportunity to speak here about our actions and activities to help Ukrainians or Ukraine As you can see on the first slide, we divided immediate help into 3 categories. First is aid in Czech Republic. We already donated direct aid to the regions we have factories in, and also we are in a close cooperation with our partners, because what we believe in, that only cooperated help can be really helpful. We also employ 615 Ukrainians in Škoda Auto in 2 of our factories in Kvasiny and Mladá Boleslav. What we already did, we launched multiple streams to individually consult the requirements and to provide help to our Ukrainian families and employees. What we are doing right now, we are providing them help with unification with their wives, children, and relatives. What we will be doing in the following days, or it already started, is that we will provide accommodation for their families and also healthcare within our own facilities. What we are doing for or directly doing to help Ukraine, we donated some money to people in need. We chose this direction because we have no direct experience with helping in the field. So we choose people in need as the agent of our help. But our direct contribution is that we are transporting humanitarian aid from our factories collected by the people in the cities nearby. So it should be 6 trucks this week. And if I'm well informed, 2 of them should be on their way right now. As you probably know or don't know, we have a partner factory in Solomonovo, which is currently converted into refugee camp. Currently, 70 refugees are there waiting for upcoming way to Slovakia or Poland. So we are sending there, or we will be sending there humanitarian aid via storage in Košice. And Mladá Boleslav asked us to contribute to financial collection for a partner hospital in Tiachev. So what we believe the money will be used for healthcare goods. And for the long-term perspective, we would like to use our own experience with integration of Ukrainian employees or all of the foreign employees, because we believe that lead by example is the best way to show a working system of integration. What we are keen to provide is a housing infrastructure for case that people would like to stay here in Czech Republic nearby our factories. We also have a good experience with providing Czech language courses, school integration, and we are also able to provide preventive medical health care. And as you know, we are one of the largest employer in Czech Republic, so we will also provide reskilling courses or job opportunities for refugees if when they will be able to work again. And as I mentioned earlier, we would like to close the integration circle. So we would like to organize some events for integration of Ukrainians into local communities. But as I mentioned in the very beginning, we are doing all this with cooperation with local municipalities. So our help is delivered in the right place, in the right time. thank you very much for listening, and I will gladly answer all questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chop, for sharing what you already did and what you are planning to do. And if you agree, is there a chance then to share your contact and data? Perhaps somebody sees from another partner for sustainability, or also from some of our listeners, that they want to do something similar or have something to add in what you're planning. So perhaps this would be also a good idea for matchmaking.
Yeah, I will write my email and telephone number in the chat, and anyone who will be willing to contribute to help is welcome to contact me directly.
Perfect, thank you very much. So, and now let's go to another partner for sustainability. We have a company in Pilsen, Borgers, and I'm very happy to give the floor now to Martina Párová. She's head of HR, and to share their experiences, ideas on how to help best Ukraine.
Thank you for the word. Hello, everybody. I would like to only a little bit prepare my name. My name is Marta Párová, but doesn't matter. I'm for Bulgars. And what we are doing, we have 250 Borgers staff from the Ukraine, and we focus all power to help the refugees from these family members. What we are doing for them, we are managing accommodation for those refugees who are family members of our employees. We are right now managing financial collection of the money, preparing the material collection, because they have only basic stuff what they were able to move from the Ukraine, and we are managing for them lunch tickets to be able to buy the basic food and to manage this stuff. And we have right now in Czech Republic 20 of them already accommodated in our rented flats, because we expected 2 years Ukrainian visa guys who should come during the next months, but for sure due to situation they will not come. And those places which we had prepared for those workers, we are right now using for refugees, and those refugees are living or staying in these flats, and we expect that additional 28 will come. They are already named and they are on the way from Ukraine. Out of this group are 29 children, and we have on the way one mother with 2 months old girl, that we are managing all stuff for those people. Right now we are preparing material collection connected directly to food, clothes, electronic devices, and etc. etc. We have money for managing their basic stuff for a couple of days, and next step is to organize the support from the government, because we cannot hold all expenses connected with those refugees on our own, and we will support them to be able to get the money from the government. And for those all staff, we have 2 full-time coordinators who are all Czech employees. They were in previous time operators on the line, and they are reporting directly to me at this moment, and they are a refugees coordinator to taking care about them 24/7 during the nights, because they cannot choose the time when they will come, and if they would come during the night, they are picking them and accommodating them. Situation is very tough. We are really close to the stories with all of them, and it's horrible. From the human point of view, it's horrible. Thank you to share with you our experience.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Marta Párová from the company Borgers, close to Pilsen, who has 250 Ukrainian workers and colleagues, offering very complex help. Yes, we felt that it's very close to you. Thank you very much for your contribution. Let's stay in the region. We switch over to the company Schunk, and Michal Zahrádka is waiting in the line. Michal, the floor is yours, please.
Thank you very much, everybody. Of course, I think I will not repeat everybody else's word. I'm at the moment in Eastern Poland with my Polish team. And here is a quick update, what we did, what we do, and maybe some ideas to keep it brief. Basically, if we summarize what we did so far, I think Friday was the day where we actually used our social capital and called all the politicians, ministers, members of parliament for action. And I think from Saturday onwards, we all observed that the whole Europe acts as was necessary. Immediately on Friday, we started, so Thursday night actually, we started working on evacuation of families of our colleagues and business partners from Ukraine. This is still ongoing because not all families are now in Poland or in Czech. From Sunday onwards, our colleagues from Polish team are pendling to and from Ukrainian border. And I'm very proud. I have a colleague who just survived a cancer after 17 chemotherapies, and he is now spending most of his time bringing help to the border and bringing and distributing people elsewhere. From Wednesday, also our colleague, Mr. Dobrovsky's wife, is Ukrainian. He still has a family which we didn't manage to evacuate from the area. But in spite of that, he started a project with his friends. And in Modlin, close to Warsaw, they are now finalizing some readaptation, reconstruction of the house that might accommodate up to 300 refugees that we also support. And on Sunday, we sent first money to our sales partners and colleagues in Dnipropetrovsk. And maybe a few words on Dnipropetrovsk and about idea what's going on. Initially, we tried to help them and their families, but also at the moment, Dnipropetrovsk is becoming some kind of a refugee hotspot of the south. Many of us here in Czech and in Poland, we have seen on the TV a situation that was monitored from the from the Polish or Slovak border. Poland did absolutely fantastic job. They have 500,000 refugees, but nobody at the moment is sleeping on a frozen ground. So they're all being sheltered, fooded, and provided with help. Unfortunately, there's a substantial amount of people in Ukraine that are basically blocked on the east side of the country. Because we're not all familiar with Ukraine, I made a small map, so the Dnipropetrovsk, where we are sending financial help, is in the middle, but to Dnipropetrovsk recently are flowing tens of thousands of refugees from the real war areas where the bombs are dropping, and you know them from TV since last couple of days, which is from the north, it's Kharkov, from south, it's Kherson, and from the east, it's Mariupol. These cities are under heavy siege at the moment, and people are running away just to save a naked life. So these people cannot make it to the western border. They cannot make it to an EU border because there are several Russian fronts in front of them, so it's to be dangerous for them to travel. So they are basically blocked in this area, where Dnipropetrovsk at the moment is a city that is relatively calm. There are no signs of war. And actually at the moment it's a kind of safe haven. So we cannot ship anything there at the moment. It is not possible. What we can do is basically provide some money so they can feed the people, they can provide and buy food for them, and provide shelters, and basically to ease already very difficult situation of the local people, to help the other local people who lost everything. So this is more or less that's what we do, what we are focusing. So as you can see, so of course we start acting immediately on Thursday and Friday. Our way of helping is developing every day, every single day we change and adopt and develop. So there is nothing like a program that we discuss. I'm in touch with the CEO and with the group management of the company. We have a full support to manage the situation that is emerged here. And of course, as my colleagues from other companies mentioned, for many of us, it's family personal, and for all of us, it's very personal as well. So we carry on, and these are the simple things we're doing. And we decided to provide a direct help to the places where we believe it's really kind of a hotspot. We send money, but this is not just about signing a check. There is no other way how to help the people at the moment. So that's, I think, all from my side. And I'm really pleased and surprised about all the Eastern European countries, how they managed and tackled the situation. And of course, our deepest sympathy are going to people in Ukraine.
Thank you very much, Mr. Zahrádka, also for your insight, also to remind us how severe the situation is, and also that support will start to evolve, will change by day to day, and I think you might be also a good contact point for somebody who really says, okay, how can I get, or is there a chance to get business partners, employees out, so you might be also a very good contact point. We stay in the region as well with Aimtec, so I'm handing over the word to Mari, who will share us what Aimtec is doing and their ideas, and also perhaps where somebody can engage with them. Marie, the floor is yours.
Hello from Aimtec. Thank you for this opportunity to share the ideas. I might bring a few for rather smaller businesses now. Of course, the most important thing now we're doing is that we support our Ukrainian colleagues. Those are people who are personally affected by the situation, and unfortunately, I have to confirm the severity of the situation that my colleague from Schunk just mentioned, because the family of my colleague is basically stuck in Ukraine at the moment, and they are unable to get to the border. So the situation really is very uneasy. Maybe one more thing to add to this. We, of course, take care of people who are Ukrainians or who have their close one in Ukraine. But let's admit that those last 2 years were not easy for many other people in our companies. And this possibility or the situation of war so close to us might be quite difficult for them as well. So, for example, what we do offer to our employees is the possibility of psychological help by HDP. We certainly can recommend this. So if you need more information, just come to us. What we do here in Aimtec, we've created a list of possible accommodation that is kind of internal for the moment, so that our HR team is able to connect those who are in need with those who can offer accommodation. And of course, a whole chapter is a financial support that we are able to give. We've sent some financial support to Red Cross, but what we have here in Aimtec as a rule, and I think that might be an inspiration for some of you, we have this rule that whoever in Aimtec donates any amount of money to any charity organization and tells us about this contribution, Aimtec matches this contribution. That means, for example, if I send some money to people in need and tell about it to Aimtec, Aimtec will send the same amount of money. So that's it. Maybe one more thought to the situation. I think it's perfect, and I'm really nicely surprised by the wave of support that we have here now, the will to help. But we have to think of that Ukrainians and Ukraine will need our help for much longer time, that maybe a few weeks or months. So I think that we all have to be ready to be supportive for continuously and count with our support for a longer period of time.
Thank you very much, Maria. And one thing that you mentioned has also been in our thoughts when we really in a very quick rush reorganized the whole event. And one aspect is the psychological aspect. Either being directly in Ukraine with all the fears for your life, of yourself, your close ones, but also the people after 2 years of COVID, with also the whole psychological effect this COVID period had on you, plus now fear for what is with my friends, relatives, business partners in Ukraine, and what you can do either as somebody who is in touch with those people, or if you're even directly affected and start to feel experience, like a little bit like that you start to not sleep that well, or even worse, then there is also the Czech Psychological Alliance for Global Changes that have put together a list of psychologists, psychiatrists that offer pro bono help. And I'm very happy now to give the word and floor to Docent Mirek Světlák, one of the initiators of this alliance, with what the platform is doing, and also with a few useful tips on how to handle this situation. Docent Světlák, the floor is yours. I hope you can hear us.
Yeah, I can hear you. Good morning to everybody. Thank you that I can be here, and thank you guys for everything what you are doing right now. I feel an amazing hope that the sustainability in the future will be a piece of cake for us. And thank you for your humanity and I mean real help to the people from Ukrainian. I'm Mirek Světlák, and I'm a coordinator of the Czech Psychology Network for Global Changes. It was established to integrate Czech psychological organizations to the Global Psychological Alliance based by American Psychology Association. Brings together more than 60 psychological organizations from around the world. And the GPA is based on the belief that global changes, and I mean the war as well, cannot be effectively addressed at the regional or individual level. I believe that global changes requires a global response, and also on the knowledge that if some global issues are caused by human behavior, the psychologists should help with their expertise. Now, in the time of the Ukraine war, we put together the list of psychotherapists and psychologists who could help people from the war areas to cope with the war consequences. We were able to find colleagues who can speak in Ukrainian, Russian, or the English language. And the list is on our websites and cpng.cz, and I put it already to the chat a few moments ago. We also find some experts on crisis intervention for individuals and groups. So I believe that you could contact anybody from the list, and you can consult, or you can use these people to help you in your companies, or to contact them with the people from Ukraine. We don't know, of course, any universal advice how to help to everybody, but what we know that we always need the feeling that we can do at least something, and we can see it here. Everybody try to do something to feel the feeling of control over the situation. We've talked with Martina, and she told me that it would be great to say maybe 4 or 5 basic advices how to cope with this situation. I mean, how to help the concrete people in your companies to cope with the stress or maybe traumatic stress. So the first thing is let's help people to calm down. And a very important thing is that the war is a traumatic event, but it doesn't mean that everybody from Ukraine will be traumatized. It doesn't mean that everybody will need some specialized help. So be careful and just think that the trauma could be just one consequence, but it doesn't mean that everybody will be traumatized. Don't forget that we can be, and we often are, traumatized as well. So don't forget to ask for help. Sharing trauma has a similar impact on us. Take care of yourself as well. Let's help, don't look at the Ukraine people as victims. Don't be scared to talk about the war, their fear, their worries. We cannot traumatize or hurt anybody by just a question. Be curious, be open, talk with them about everything, ask how we can help, they will lead us. Let's help people from Ukraine to meet together once a week in your company. It could be a company dining room or in some boardroom. We need to eliminate the feeling that they are alone in it. We also need to help them to share their experiences, bad and good news and hope. We are very often isolated one by one in crisis, but sharing and group support are our biological nature. Prepare some tea and some small snacks. They needn't to come there, but they need to know that they could if they need it. And another important thing for everybody, and universal advice, is try to reframe our and their experiences related to stress. Stress has many symptoms, and research repeatedly shows that our interpretation of them matters. I could be scared by my symptoms, or I could say that it is a normal reaction of my body that is expected in the situation. These symptoms are the best preparation for the action. This is a protective interpretation. Let them find some sense of control over the situation. Try to invent some peer program. For example, your colleagues from Ukraine living in your country could help those who come to the country right now. Everybody is activated and we need some action. Deactivation without action is experienced as a helplessness. And the last but not least, be wise and support the realistic hope. Unfortunately, wars are the normal experience of mankind and humanity. We are the descendants of those who fought, and we are still here. So please help to everybody to cultivate and develop some realistic hope, and don't be scared. I would like to say some universal advices, but if I would know them, I would have a Nobel Prize, and it's not true right now. So that's it. Please don't be scared to contact my colleagues, call them, ask for some advice, and I believe that me, my colleagues, and everybody on the list could help you. Thank you for your attention and time, and I'm open to any question right now if you have any.
All right, thank you very much, Mirek Světlák from the Czech Psychology Association Alliance, for global changes. And you said correctly, global changes require global response. Thank you for your advices how to deal with people affected by war. We already got information here that companies are seeking for such psychological support for their Ukrainian people in the company. So we forward your contact. Thank you very much for your contribution. And now we will switch over to another partner for sustainability, which is E.ON. And as I can see, there's Lucia Streitová and Tomáš Brych also. Tomáši, Lucia, the floor is yours, please.
Okay, thank you for for the time slot, I'll try to be quick, as I see that the structure of the help of all of us is very similar. So we as an E.ON group in Czech, we donated 10 million of crowns to the many needs for the collection SOS Ukraine, and we will focus our help to humanitarian help to people going from Ukraine, and also to people directly into Ukraine. And secondly, we are offering our facilities, our recreational centers, to refugees from Ukraine who are seeking for the help. And as an energy company, we understand that the energy is a necessary commodity, and therefore we are fetching our aggregates, diesel aggregates directly to Ukraine, so that they can support the hospitals or other necessary sources in Odessa. Next is the help of our employees. This is firstly material help. We've sent some material help on Monday. Then we also organized the collection of the money, and there will be also food connection next week from our employees. And I'm very happy that all the employees feel the need to help to people in Ukraine. And of course, we are in contact with Czech authorities and crisis meetings, and we are getting ready to different scenarios related with possible energy crisis, especially related with the lack of gas. And last but not least, at the moment we have on the Ukraine border a few of our colleagues, and today others are leaving to help directly there. That's about it. That's the structure of our help, and we deeply feel with people of Ukraine and trying to help as much as possible.
All right, thank you very much, Tomáš. Brych from the company E.ON, a partner for sustainability. Thank you very much for your insight into your help structure and your help actions. Now, I would like to pass the word to our media partner, which is E15, E15. There's in the line waiting Jan Novotny. Jan, how can an economic medium cover the war conflict right now? What are you doing in that term, in that sense? Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you for having me in this conference. Hello to and good morning to all participants. I have to say, as you probably know, we are an economic daily, and we also produce online news on our website. So this kind of event is very important for us because we are covering news from minute to minute, and although we are focusing on basically economic and business news, the war conflict has many aspects for us to cover. For example, economic transformation is a big topic now, and Green Deal and the future of energy sector is a big question. What the energy sector will be like in the following months and years. And also we are focusing now on the economic relations between Czech companies and Russia, because Czech Republic is a big exporter of products to Russia. Today, for example, we are covering the future of Škoda auto exports to Russia. Škoda has also some factories there in Russia and in Ukraine too. So it's a big question also for us to cover these topics, and I would like to say that the big topic is also the ethics of covering of our conflict. We don't want to be on any side of the conflict, so we are trying to be as neutral as possible. Even in that kind of conflict that is for the Czech Republic is very sensitive. So we sent our reporters on Polish-Ukrainian border, and we are trying to write as much neutral news as possible from there. We have also our photograph in Lvov now, so we are focusing on just factual news, not emotional ones that are presented by some tabloids, for example. So I think these events are very important, even for business news outlets, because readers are going to our website because they are hoping that we are producing more quality news than the others. So we have a record on our website these days because people are really want to read some news that are that have more quality than at some other websites. So if you have any questions for me in this kind of stuff, please send me an email or contact me via phone. I would be very grateful.
Much from the newspaper E15, the E15. Thank you very much. Facts instead of fake news, of course. So we're coming more or less, Martina, to the end of our
yes.
Help for Ukrainian event. 10,000 of Ukrainians are working here in the Czech Republic. This affects very much this country in a very humanitarian way. So what else? We can ask for questions, if there are any questions to our experts or to our companies, to the partners of sustainability, who gave us an insight into their aid action, into their situation, very personal insights, some of them. So the floor is open for questions.
Or also, if anybody has an idea on how to help and looks for partners to start an initiative or to start off a support scheme, also this might be a good idea to shout out to the small community that we gathered here. Perhaps there are some good partners that can be a good add to what you are planning or to what your idea is on how to help Ukraine.
Do we have anything left in the chat right now?
Yes, we have a question here to Jan Novotny. I just think most easiest would read it out. There's a lot of disinformation going on. What precautions media companies take right now to provide most accurate, objective news? And very important, how can the readers, business as well as regular ones, differentiate between high and low quality news? So question to the expert Jan Novotny. What can somebody do to really verify whether this is really a qualitative news stream that somebody has in front of him or her?
Which is also a good question, because this is also a war of information.
Yeah, sure. First, I have to say that we really need to focus on facts, not emotions. Also, be more strict on reviewing facts, to have more sources, not only 2 or 3. It's very important to rely on more sources in this kind of conflict. That's why it's really the war of can be a war of misinformation. But if you rely on reliable sources and review, and you really review them and try to talk to as many people as possible, it's really possible to produce qualitative news even in this situation.
Thank you very much, Mr. Novotny, for this insight. And as we are now getting towards the end of this forum, just to also again stress out that you will get all the contact data, all the links to supportive websites through email or through LinkedIn message after the event. Also a link to the YouTube channel where you'll find the whole recording of the event, including also what Martina Hábová, what Světlák, or what Kamil Blažek have said. And also, because there was, for instance, mentioned a lot what this does also mean to the companies. There were like the hashtags like, for instance, what will be with energy, what is energy security in the future, for instance, also in relation to what will be the future energy mix. This is definitely something that we will get also back to within the chamber with a few dedicated events on those items, and not only. So stay tuned with the chamber, and we will definitely put you forward this info via email.
Yes, thank you very much. This will be help on the long track, as we have heard many times today. Thanks to all the partners for sustainability for rededicating their conference on sustainability into a forum for help for Ukraine. Thank you very much to all of you. Thank you to Minister Günther. Thank you to Vice Minister Neděla. Thank you very much to our experts. in the field of help today. And a big thank to our member company, Ave Media, who were supporting us in a very professional way as we are used to from them. Thank you very much, Kluce, and of course thanks to Petr Žvak, our colleagues, Eva Brichtova, Jan Elga and Šimon Geist for all their support to make this possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And stay with us.